Uh,
All right, welcome back to the Stephen and Afia podcast. Today we're talking about well, what everybody seems to be talking about, the Epstein files that Donald Trump is seeming to try to keep hidden.
mhm. Yeah,
What are
big
I was
blowback,
I mean it the
bigly.
whole situation the whole situation's probably tough on Trump. I mean, if he didn't actually do anything wrong, or at least didn't do anything with underage women, then I mean, of course, he doesn't want to be any part of that investigation. And then if he did do wrong things with underage women, he of course doesn't want to have anything to do with that investigation either. So either way, it's probably a tough spot to be in if you're Donald Trump, you know?
Sure, he's definitely in a catch-22.
Yeah.
But my thing is the issue with it is not that like of course he's kind of bound by statecraft and so on, but and praxis and just it's probably the thing is that before I get into my theories, it's just that the reason he's in such deep water with this is because he and his team overpromised so much, like to
Yeah.
where Kash Patel, Vice President JD Vance, all of them were just saying so much. Oh, we have the files. We need to release them. We need to release them. And then um what's her name? Bondi.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, yeah. She said like, okay, they're on my desk when asked directly about the Epstein list, like it's gonna be released, and then like, oh no, I was just talking about the files in general, like they just really reneged on their word in such a huge way, and that's why they're rightfully facing this blowback from the public.
Yeah, it looks bad. Um, and then of course, this has all been going on for a while. I mean, Epstein hung himself several years ago now. So uh,
Epstein did not kill himself, Steven.
the rich and powerful that he had dirt on killed him, made it look like a suicide.
Did you see
Either way,
that? Did you see
he,
that
he, he
tape
died
that
several years ago.
the well, did you see the tape that the DOJ released? And then they're like, "Oh, yeah, there's like a minute. There's like a minute missing because there's always a minute missing. We just do that." It was like it was so
No, I,
bizarre, right?
I didn't see
And
that. No, I
then
don't
and
keep
then
track of that kind of stuff, but I did read up a bit on it before we did this show. So um,
mhm.
I at least looked into what Trump had said before and what he's saying now, and he
Mhm.
wanted all pertinent evidence to be released before and now. Now he's saying I said pertinent as in, I don't want any information getting out that doesn't directly have to do with the investigation that could cause problems for innocent people. And so we're being careful about what we do release and what we don't release.
Yeah.
So
But the
um
thing is, like, with that too, though, they said that they have videos of child porn, and so it's
mhm,
like, so then someone has to be, someone has to be accountable for that, right? It's not like, oh, you
right.
have this evidence, but like it wasn't. I'm because right, it wasn't just Epstein with these thousands of things. So like, who else is connected with that? Like, so it's like,
Yeah.
oh, so you have this evidence, but oh, there's no evidence of anything incriminating. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and I read that a lot of the videos that Epstein had weren't recorded by him. They were downloaded onto his computer. So stuff that other people were doing. So,
Right.
but
Which means that it, you could see actually there's metadata on files where you could see where those videos came from, right? So
Mhm.
if like all if you have all this information on Epstein's computer, okay, so where did those incriminating videos come from? Right?
Right.
It didn't just show up out of nowhere.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, I don't know a lot about how all that works. So, um, I can only assume that there's information that the FBI knows and they're not letting the public know about. So I don't know what they do with what they find on that information because I'm sure they have an idea of who created the videos and all that if it's that simple. But in that case, they're just not they're not either not pursuing those people or they're not wanting to release that information to the public
Yeah.
for whatever reason. So hard to say.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we know they're not pursuing those people because they now refuse to release the information that they said that they were going to release, right? And with
Right.
that,
Or they're
now
dealing with
now
it secretly. I don't know.
right, which is now is the fun conspiracy time because when when you so blatantly lie to people, it's only going to make the conspiracies seem that much more uh much more real, right? It's like, oh,
Right.
no, you're just conspiracy theory. All right,
Mhm.
guys, nothing to see here. There is just this
Right.
island, an entire island where the sex trafficking was happening. We have the computer, we have thousands of files and papers and uh yeah, but there's nothing to see here. Why are you guys still talking about this thing that we told you again and again that we were going to release to you?
Right.
It
We
was
haven't
it was
released it
yeah,
yet.
it was the dismissive attitude of it and just the gaslighting that really just uh pushed people beyond it just
Yeah,
like
and and
to a point
and
of rage, right?
and people like it's pretty human to just want some closure on something that big. And we're talking about a lot of big names that are involved in this. You know, a lot of people just want some sort of justice.
Right.
So yeah, there's without releasing it and by keeping it all quiet. I mean, there's no closure there. There's no justice, and we all feel that a lot of rich and important people are getting away with something pretty heinous. So
Right.
mm,
And that's the thing is it's that like, we know this kind of thing happens and but the thing is it's that sick and tired of the injustice of okay, Joe Schmo down the street is on on the Megan's list or whatever, but then all these rich and powerful people who were connected with Epstein, oh, they just get to
mhm.
go scot free. Um,
Yep. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of celebrities that have been linked to that island. A lot of big name rich people that have been linked to that island. I mean, it's not like I don't see how they could have not known what was going on there, you know. Um,
yeah,
so yeah, people want answers.
right.
What's it's been? I mean, the original Epstein investigation started back in like 2005 or 2006, and then that kind of got
Was was that
brushed under the
you're
rug.
talking yeah, you're talking about when when he had some affairs before, right? Before the whole
Yeah,
recent
and a lot
one where he
of
got.
a lot of all this was hinted at back then, and you know, like I said, just got brushed under the rug, and he was able to go back out and keep doing the same sick stuff that he had been doing. And he kept it going for another uh, almost 15 years um, before finally you know too much of that information got leaked and to the public, and we, you know, here we are now, still all wanting
Right.
answers to it. So,
And the thing is, before it was easier for the government to like make things go away, but now everyone has a camera, everyone has a phone, everyone's on social media, and
mhm,
so while they're good at keeping people's memories short, it's just this has been built up and by the Trump administration themselves of like we need answers on this, we need answers on this for
mhm.
years and years to
Yeah,
oh
he
oh
said
we
during
we,
the
we don't
election
need to
that he
talk
was
about
going to
this
release that.
anymore. Right.
Right.
He it was even one of his like election promises, right?
Mhm. Yeah, now he's picking and choosing what gets released and what doesn't. So, uh,
Yeah. Which is why I think, it's a matter of his hands being tied by statecraft because, you know, best believe if
mhm.
like say it's in my former past life of we will or won't say it involved any cartels or whatsoever but you know if there was some case where it was like tied to like um some illegal thing that I did I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, let's release that. We gotta get to the bottom of this. That thing's that's gonna put me to prison for the rest of my
Right.
life.
We need to get me arrested now.
Yeah, yeah, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not gonna bring that case to the forefront, right? So I don't I
Mhm.
don't think I don't think Trump was directly involved with any of the Epstein things, but I
The
mean, I think it's apparently obvious that he's covering up that crisis now,
he knows
um,
he's
because he
close
has
to a
to.
lot of these big and rich names as well, and I'm sure he's getting a lot of pressure from them too. So there's that. But from what I read, his involvement with Epstein, he was doing stuff like partying mostly with adults. So he was going to like Victoria's Secret, you know, shows, and he had a party with like uh, NFL cheerleaders or something like that with Epstein, and they had a falling out because they were both trying to get some property in Florida at the same time, and Trump outbid him, and they had a huge issue with that, and then stopped talking after that. So,
Yeah, yeah. I I mean I think it's highly improbable that Trump would, yeah, so vehemently call for the releasing of these documents and then actually be someone who's um in some incriminating way be within that information.
right.
Um yeah, I mean as par for the course, it's been, the conspiracy theory that is like really yeah, I mean at this point with this backlash, I mean I don't see how anyone could not see it as a reality of, people who have a lot of power within the state, and that would cause evidence like say, like one of the people that they kept mentioning that could be tied with this, we'll say allegedly, right, is Prince Harry, right? So
Yeah.
that's one of our top allies, right? So if there's powerful people of foreign governments who are allied with the U.S., then people are calling for like, oh, like what we're if we want real justice, right? What are we going to go to war with the UK, or we go to war with Israel, or some of our other allies who who
Yeah.
um who may have powerful people who were connected with Epstein. Well, obviously that's going to create you know, it's going to create a defense issue, and uh, the that's why before the U.S. has always kept their secrets. JFK, Martin Luther King, and whenever they release anything on that, it's always a big ball of nothing
Yeah.
because they're
The
they're gonna
evidence.
hold to those secrets to for the sake of keeping the peace with their allies and the people who in power who are uh, doing those things, CIA, FBI, and all sorts.
hmm The evidence that they had again that I've seen against Harry is a lot more damning than anything I've seen against Trump, as far as him doing things with underage women. Um,
Right.
and then one of Trump's points that he made was he said, the Democrats when they were in power had these same files on them for 4 years, and if there was any real evidence against Trump, knowing that he was planning on running again for office, wouldn't they have released that back when they had the chance? Um, but he's like the fact that they didn't do that just proves that
Well,
they have nothing. Um,
yeah, yeah, but that's a weak argument, anyways.
I'm
Though.
just saying what he said.
Yeah.
I'm not
Right.
saying
Right.
it's a good
No, no.
argument.
I'm just to add information to that, though. I mean, the Epstein stuff started back in Trump's first term.
hmm
So, so I mean, if they could have erased it then, and then when Biden got into office, been like, hey, yeah, like why aren't we hearing about that Epstein stuff? Because the first administration already erased anything tied to him. So
Right.
I think that's a much weaker case, just than the fact that I don't know, it would be asininely stupid to to call for something if you're within that, you know.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. Some people think that Trump's an idiot. I don't think anyone's that stupid.
No. No. Yeah. If he, I think if he was um really like deeply involved in the illegal activities, I think he wouldn't have said anything about it during or after the election. So there is that, but like I said, we don't know because a lot of stuff's not being you know shown to the public.
Right.
So
Yeah. But like I
and
said, like when
it's not
when I
like
was
Epstein's still on trial. Ghislaine Maxwell is already doing her prison time. Was she sentenced to 20 years?
sure,
So
but
it's not like this is an ongoing investigation or anything like that. We want to know.
yeah, but
Uh,
the whole fact of Ghislaine Maxwell being in prison, that shows like yeah, you can't have such a huge operation where you're bringing people to a private island and there's thousands and thousands of cases of sexual trafficking,
mhm.
and um obviously if you have Maxwell, then there's going to be at least a few other people involved in this whole ordeal. um
Yeah, that's part of the problem with where people want closure. It's like, well, yeah, the guy running it uh, got caught, and Jelaine got caught. But what about all these people that were going to his island, having a great time doing illegal things, like very illegal things, and none of them get not even slap on the wrist. They're just we're just forgetting about the rest of it. It's like we they're not going to that island anymore, so let's just shut up and forget about it.
right.
It's like, no,
And
they did something really
it's like,
bad.
yeah, and they're still out at large,
Right. Yeah.
that's
Some people that are, speaking of, like Prince Harry, these are, huge people like representing countries and stuff like that. So, think,
yeah.
something needs to happen about that.
Yeah,
and yeah, it's not something you just forget about.
and it's not only for a measure of the justice against, the perks who were, doing those heinous acts, but also for the mercy for the victims, all the young
For sure.
girls who suffered at their hands, right? Like,
Hmm.
it's an extreme lack of mercy that they don't see the justice for the people that did that to them, right?
And consequences to the people that did these things wrong, uh, discourage people in the future from doing something similar. Because, like I said, they didn't even get a slap on the wrist. Even if they had just gotten a slap on the wrist, what's stopping them from doing it again? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there
But
needs to be
if they
some
get
some type
actual
of deterrent,
consequences,
right?
mm, yeah, there's nothing that's happened is gonna make people think like, oh, maybe I should think twice before doing something so stupid next time. There were
Right.
no consequences.
Right, yeah, that's a great point, right? Because it's also, right. We want everybody to live within the laws of vibrational energy, right? To live within love, and they're clearly far outside of that. So that how do we bring them back into the human family? Well, we need a way to deter them from ever doing something so despicable again, right? We need to a way that they could be reconciled with the rest of humanity in their image of God in the Imago Dei, right? So that
True.
that that they would think it that just absolutely abhorrent to do something like that, right? So like, how
Hmm.
do we bring them from where they are to back into the Imago Dei that they were created in? And we need to correct them, right? We need to
Hmm.
say, okay, no, you go to prison, or you have to face this punishment in order to correct the wrong that you did, so that you know, uh, you know to never do anything like that again, right?
Yeah, and I'm thinking also just deterring anybody else from that might consider doing something similar, from doing that as well.
Right.
Um,
Both the culprits and any possible future culprits, because yeah,
mhm. There has to be
like then
consequences.
yeah, because if there's someone dealing with some demons growing up, and they're going into, I don't know, they're about to go into the Secret Service or the CIA, or some foreign diplomat, or whatever they're going up into, and they have this kind of moral gray, like,
Hmm.
well, I'm in the powerful position, I can kind of do what I want. we have to we have to set an example that, no, you can't do whatever you want.
Right.
We need some it's like, when kids play on a playground, right? You have and they're playing, I don't know, kickball, right? Or
Hmm.
baseball, right? You have rules for the game so that everyone can have fun. But when you got these jerks who are not playing by the rules, it ruins it for everybody. And because the world's just a big playground, man. We all just want to love and have fun, and these guys are messing up the playground for all the rest of God's children.
Yeah. Stop messing up the playground.
Quit
Um,
messing up the playground, man.
this is
help
why we
help
can't
help
have nice
kids.
things. Um, yeah, shoot, I had a point too. Oh, yeah, another part of that is like we have this huge list of people that we know have gone to this island, and obviously they had to have seen these wrongdoings going on, even if they didn't participate. It's not like they went back and were like, hey, a lot of bad stuff's going on over at that island. We need to do something about that. Everybody stayed quiet about it. As far as I know,
I
not one person came forward.
I I
Victims
think
came
that's
forward, but.
Right, right. I think that's a little circumstantial though, because I don't know how big the island is. But maybe maybe they're in the part where where the funky stuff wasn't going on.
I understand
I don't know.
he had like a
I
building just set aside just for that. Yeah,
I
I remember seeing that on the
I
Netflix documentary, but and
I've been to
you know,
I've
maybe
been
not
to
everybody went in there,
well, I was gonna
but
say I've been to many islands in my life, but never any owned by billionaires. So I don't exactly know the the typical praxis for that.
yeah,
I'm not
it's true.
I'm not I'm not savvy
Mm.
to like ooh who sees the premier island side and who sees the dark dungeon room. I don't know
But yeah,
how that all goes down.
I could compare that to like you know, me going to a party back in high school. Um, you know, maybe some people were there, you know, shooting up heroin when I was just there to drink. I didn't see the people doing heroin. I was busy with the people drinking. You know what I mean? So like I could have had no idea that there was any heroin usage going on at the party that I went to. But not that I'm condoning underage drinking. I'm just saying, you know, these some people might have been able to go there and party without actually being a part of the crazy stuff that that's clearly
Right.
an
I get,
issue now.
yeah, I get what you're saying. Like they were just in the alcohol room. They weren't in the cocaine or the heroin room, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, they were out actually just having a good time versus people that maybe went to wherever the child stuff was going on.
Yeah.
Um, it's
Yeah,
all pretty sick though. But I feel like you know if you're there, you kind of, especially something that big, you kind of have an idea of that there's more than just your party going on. You know what I mean? But
sure.
who am I to
But
say?
but
I don't.
but
I
but
that's
you may not be privy to it though, because I get to
that's right.
as a former heroin user, right? Like I would be like I mean if say like I was just like drinking alcohol that night, I could tell that someone is on some other substance, right? Like our energies aren't quite matching, right? Like there it's
True.
something else. But
True.
but as I could see how maybe someone who's never seen that life might just be like, okay, something's going on, but I don't know what it is, right? Like,
That's fair.
do you, Mr. Jones? Do you, Mr. Jones? I think really Bob Dylan was telling us about this all along, you know.
uh, yeah, but yeah, pretty sick stuff though. That something like that could happen in the first place. I mean, if Epstein did it, who's to say that there aren't other places where you know rich people are doing similar things somewhere else? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, was this the only island where that was going on? Like they all just went to this one? Like they didn't have a backup island? Right? Like
Or
that seems kind of weird in itself too, right? Like oh, like we only go to this one island to do this secret evil thing that we're all doing. Uh
Mhm.
that it seems I mean maybe, but it seems unlikely to me. Really unlikely, right?
Right. Yeah, Epstein's just the one who got caught. Just
Yeah.
just like with you know, P. Diddley.
I was just
Um,
thinking as soon as you said just like I was like he's gonna say Diddy.
yeah.
Did Diddy do it?
I call him Pete Diddley now, but yeah. Um, you know, he wasn't the only one doing that kind of stuff. But he might have been one of the worst. As far as you know,
I doubt it. I think there's usually just like a fall guy, you know, because
right?
even with Diddy's thing, like I didn't look into that as much as with the FC one, but even with his thing, it didn't look like he is actually guilty of some of the crimes they're accusing him for. It's just like, oh, okay, he's our fall guy. We're just gonna throw the book at him, you know.
Mhm.
Um,
Some of the stories I heard, I mean, it was it it like the girls were looking to other guys in the room for help too, and the other guys was like, "Don't look at me like that. I'm not going to do anything about this," you know. So it's
yeah, I
um,
mean, I mean, he clearly did some notorious behavior, but
mhm,
um, but I think a lot of the stuff was just added on just to be like, oh yeah, like we need to paint like this. This is like the top monster that we need to take out. When in reality, uh, I mean, a lot of it seemed like kind of par for the course Hollywood type stuff, where there's just kind of depraved
mhm.
sexual behavior going on, and but like as far as like I don't think Diddy was involved really like with trafficking or something. It seemed like in some
Right.
cases it was like women trying to make a name for themselves and come up in some
Hmm.
unsavory types of ways.
Yeah.
But I mean,
And then you get stories like the Louis C.K. story, where he was masturbating in front of women or whatever, and
yeah, and they try to like hype that up to the same level too, and it's like
right.
what
And
it's
it's
like
like, oh,
the they can't
but
they
but
couldn't
like,
they couldn't walk out of the room like, oh, I'm a 30, 40-year old, even 20s, even if they're in their young 20s, but I think they
that,
were actually older. And it's like, and the guy starts jerking it. It's like, and you stayed there and watched, like you were just, oh, you're an adult and you couldn't handle just walking out
it's
the
like
door. Like,
if,
okay,
if that's the case, then we're all victims.
right? Yeah,
It's,
as an adult still, like you don't know how to leave a room that you're uncomfortable in.
yeah. And I might, we might catch some flack for downplaying that. I don't know the whole extent of it, but I think it got turned into a bigger deal than it really was. Like you're waiting for like, okay, and then he like did something to you, right?
Yeah, or like no, he held you at gunpoint. Like, yeah, you gotta watch me. Like, no, he just started jerking it with other people in the room. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I mean, that's
A different
bad.
room.
That's bad behavior, but it's like, can we just
Don't do
just
that,
reprimand? Yeah, like, don't do that
cut it
anymore,
out,
man.
bro.
Yeah, let's
None of us want to see that.
yeah, but of course, right? It's great. It's great. It's gravely disordered. But but I mean, come on. Yeah, we can't. Our it's like with the whole Me Too movement. That's the issue is they're equating things like that of like masturbation with
Well,
sex
some of these
trafficking.
kids
It's like
got
what?
groomed and
It's like
turned into prostitutes basically. I mean, a lot of them did, and I mean that's a way different level.
right.
It's really disgusting what happened there. So yeah,
Yeah. What
uh,
one is simply inherently disordered, and he probably needs some,
he needs help.
yeah, he needs some help. Yeah. And whereas one is like evil personified, right? You're
Yeah.
like capturing little children and like shipping them to other countries
Hmm.
purely for their exploitation. But it's not
Hmm.
the same thing. It's like at that point it was like, okay, what does Me Too even mean, right?
Yeah. What about me? I'm sure. I'm sure I could sue somebody for something.
Yeah. Yeah, we're a sue happy country. We got
Yes.
5 minutes left here on the tape. Any final thoughts about Epstein and the blowback that the Trump administration's facing?
But I think Trump said he was going to release these files. I think he has to release them now. Um,
Or even if he
I,
doesn't release the files, at least some uh like you said, some form of closure for for saying that they were going to release the files, and all this hype that they themselves had built behind it, right? At least some form of closure in shape or fashion, but not just blowing people off and gaslighting them like, oh, like why do you guys care about this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he said that multiple times. I don't know why there's still so much interest in this.
Yeah,
But no, a lot of reasons why there's still a lot of interest in this. So yeah, it we something has to be done. And yeah, there has to be some sort of justice served. Uh, it's an opportunity for Trump to really really do the right thing. And I know it's going to cause problems for some powerful people, but if you did something wrong, you got to face the consequences for it. So
right. Well, it's not just that the fact that justice against those powerful people, but yeah, like I said, it would have global repercussions to where okay, are there people
good.
from France officials involved, the UK officials involved,
Hmm.
our own top security involved, and
Right? That's a good
what
thing.
would that do to the system? Sure. Who has
I
this?
don't send a talk through it, but like I said, you can't just get away with stuff like that. Yeah, something has to be done. So that's my
Buck,
thought.
the buck stops here, as the great Eisenhower once said, right?
All right.
Yeah, well, we'll see if the Trump administration's position changes on this, but yeah, it's not looking good. The situation is yeah, it's gonna
It's
need some
messy.
immediate attention.
Hmm. Yes, sir.
All right, well, I guess we'll wrap it up there. That's been
Cool.
Stephen and a Five podcast. I was about to say figure it out, but that was our old podcast name.
Don't figure
We're
it out
not just
anymore.
yeah, yeah.
We're just
I
spitballing now.
yeah,
We know
but
nothing.
yeah, but keep those conspiracy theories coming because there clearly are conspiracies. Spirit conspiracies are a real thing. There's not only theories of them, but they actually happen in the world around us. Epstein, case in point.
All right, man.
All right, signing out.